guys are watching Bloomberg TV Philippines here on Business World Live. I'm Danie, Laurel. Markets are about a minute away from opening their doors to trade this Tuesday. It's time to take a look at those stocks that might see action when those markets open. JP, what is your pick?
Well, they're going to take a look at the entire property sector because it seems that we have yet another rosy report on their outlook. Now, mind you, the property sector is still down by about 7 3/10%. We're going to see how they react at today's open. We're about 15 seconds away from that. But so far, so good for property stocks. And it seems that the new drivers that are seen in the property sector seem to be benefiting other areas in this particular space. And we're talking about a report from Moody that says that POGOs aren't just impacting demand for office space; they're also impacting demand for residential properties. Now, just a quick update: we're seeing that the property sector is opening down by about 0.4%. But despite that, we are despite this report from Moody saying that that real estate demand has started to trend upwards because of POGOs. Now, remember, Philippine offshore gaming operators tend to bring in a lot of operators from the mainland to help service some of their offshore clients who are mostly based in mainland China. These are Chinese-speaking nationals, and usually because of that, they will need to find a place to stay also. What they've said is that the difference between now and recent years is that previous years we didn't have many new residents coming in. Over the last couple of years, though, because of the influx in the POGO market, we've seen people by the thousands coming over, taking up residence in Metro Manila, and even and also boosting offices and demand for some of these condominiums. In fact, they're saying that the POGO market represents one of the newest and most significant changes in the real estate industry. Also saying that they see vacancy rates in Metro Manila dropping from 12.4% in the first quarter to 11.3% in the second quarter. You have also the likes of Colliers saying that this is something that they've also observed. They're saying that they are seeing also that that demand from POGOs has boosted both residential and property space demand. They're also saying that the BPOs are starting to show sustained growth also in the Cebu region. So these are some of those drivers we're looking at the moment. But remember also that these are reports from the second quarter where they're saying that they're seeing POGOs impacting demand for office space and residential space in the second quarter. But also recall that a couple of weeks ago we did have that report of that crackdown of a gambling operation in China that affected about over 150,000 accounts that were apparently linked to an offshore gaming website here in the Philippines. Now, whether or not regulations in China will pose a short-term or long-term threat to the growth to growth brought about by POGOs is something that some property outlets will have to parse through in the coming weeks. But so far, at least according to the likes of Moody and Colliers, growth and demand for office space and also for residential space continues to be rather strong, and it seems that the property index will stand to benefit from that if they can sustain this demand from the new driver called POGOs.